Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So last night I did a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links stream covering Seven's World and Rush Duels coming to Duel Links. The stream lasted 7 hours and 7 minutes for a Seven's World related stream. How weird is that? But anyway, the stream was a lot of fun, and I wanted to make a quick video talking about my experience so far with Rush Duels, the pros, the cons, and just an overall discussion on how I feel about Rush Duels finally being in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, currently, I am at stage 20 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, so it does not max out at stage 20. It actually goes beyond that. You can see we have some stage 20 missions here. And as for the characters, I have Roman, Luke, and Yugioh all at level 19, and I have Gavin at level 15. So my biggest gripe, I guess I'll start with my disappointments first, is that these characters max out so low. These characters max out at level 20, which feels really, really low. I mean, I've been kind of addicted to this since I started playing it, like just under 24 hours ago. And I've probably put in about 12 hours at this point in total. And I already have 3 of the 4 characters 1 level away from being max. And Gavin is 75% of the way there. So if I play for another hour or 2, I'm going to have all 4 characters maxed out. And that's kind of a bummer. I feel like level 20 is just way too low in terms of where these characters should be maxing out, and I feel like that's probably my biggest gripe with Rush Duels and Duel Links so far. Now, I do believe that these characters are going to eventually have 30 and hopefully 40 as well, but I feel like they should have been at least 30 on launch. It just feels like you can max these characters out very, very easily, and then once they're maxed out, if you continue to duel with them, you don't get any credit for dueling with them, you know, which is something that I love about Duel Links. So that is definitely a big disappointment. I'd say my other disappointment is the minimum amount of cards that there are to be selected. There's really a very small amount of decks that you can craft. Now, this, of course, is the beginning of Rush Duel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, so I know the card pool is going to be added rather quickly. At least that's the hope. But I would have liked to see a little bit more variety on launch, especially because as you play against some of these NPCs and you play against the Vagabond, there are cards that are coded in this game that we just don't have access to. You know, why can't I play with chairs or ants or noodles? Like, I see those cards being used by the NPCs that I'm dueling, but there's no way for the player to acquire them. So that's something that I also think is a little disappointing. We have the 4 main aces of Yugioh, Luke, Roman, and Gakuto, but outside of those aces and then the cards that you can, or the decks that you can build around those cards, there's not really much of a variety right now. I'm very much looking forward to Roa coming because we're going to get Royal Demon, which is a really, really cool deck. And then when Nail comes, we're going to get Maximums, and that is going to be amazing. But at the moment, no Maximums, no Fusions, no Equips. So this is very much a bare bones version of Rush Duels, which is what we kind of expected because the game is just launching here in Duel Links. I think it would have been crazy if at launch Maximums and Fusions and Equips and everything was already in the game. That would have been too overwhelming, but I think we could have gotten a little bit more of a card variety than we actually got. Maybe like all of those decks we saw in the first arc of Sevens up to Roa, I think would have been pretty cool. But, you know, we didn't. And also, if you're starting new and you don't have a lot of gems, it's going to be very hard for you to get the ace monsters that are needed. All of the character ace monsters are ultra rares. Now, I was very lucky because I grinded gems for a very long time until Duel Links Rush came out. So I had about 13,000 gems to spend, but even so, I had to reset the boxes a couple of times to try to get sets of the ultra rare aces. And of course, the second time I went through the box, I got Seven's Road Magician, you guessed it, at the very bottom of the box. The last freaking pack. Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links if you don't feel like you were getting screwed over by luck and by the gacha system. And oh my god, man, that was unbelievable. But I feel pretty good right now because I've got a set of Dragias, I've got a set of all the super rares, but that's because I was able to save up a lot of gems to pour in and invest in Rush Duels, which is what I wanted to do. So, you know, if you're just starting new, it's probably going to take a while before you're able to get a lot of the ace monsters that are needed to play a lot of these decks at a high level right now, or an optimal level, I guess you should say. Because even if you have the cards and you're like me, you're probably not playing at a high level. But after playing a lot of PvP and playing a lot of, you know, just grinding up the stages and these characters, I guess I'll move on to the positives. Rush Duels are so freaking fun. I cannot tell you how addicted I am to this right now. I am having such a fun time playing PvP, building these decks. The speed in which Rush Duels operate is so unlike the speed of what we are used to in Master Duel and the main way that you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! That it's such a breath of fresh air. It's so fun. You never feel like you're out of a duel, and you never feel like your opponent's board is unbreakable. That's a feeling that I get a lot of the times when I play in Master Duel. Sometimes you play Master Duel, by the time it's your turn, your opponent took a 5-10 minute turn to set up, and he's got 4 negates, 3 face downs, and you know you don't have a prayer. At least someone like me who's more of a casual Master Duel player. I don't have a prayer against the meta, and that's why I compliment people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! At a very high level, because I think it is very, very difficult to do with how many cards, how many negates, how many things and tricks you just need to know about your own deck and the deck you're going up against. But with Rush Duel, I feel like it's much more friendly to the casual player, and especially because we're so early on in Rush Duel, you never feel like you're out of a duel. The fact that you can draw 4 or 5 cards every single time lets you basically get a brand new hand, and if your previous board completely failed and got broken, well, you're getting 5 new cards to try to then break the board that your opponent set up. And because there's really no negates right now, there's no graveyard effects or anything like that, you feel like you're always in the duel, and that is such a fun and unique feeling to Yu-Gi-Oh! That you don't necessarily get in Master Duel and in the main format. So that is easily the biggest pro of Rush Duels and Duel Links, just how fun the format is. I am having so much fun, and there were a lot of people that were in my stream last night that said this is the most fun they've had PvP Yu-Gi-Oh! In a very long time. So if you're a casual player, or you're someone who maybe is kind of tired of Master Duel, or you're maybe a little bored of it, or feeling kind of meh on it, I would definitely give Rush Duel a chance. Even if you love Master Duel, I'd give Rush Duel a chance because it still has those same flavors that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has, but it's a completely different style of game, obviously, but in the best possible way. The card pool is very limited right now, but we are going to get more cards soon. Maximums hopefully in a few months, which is going to be really, really cool. The characters are really enjoyable. The world is very vibrant. The colors are very vibrant. And it's just been a really, really fun game to play. So outside of my gripes with the character levels being a little too low, the card pool selection being a little too low, I wish we had a few more cards. The game itself, man, is so fun. And those negatives that I have, I know are going to get amended in the very near future once we get some more events, once we get some more boxes. But the game itself and the way that it plays in Duel Links is beautiful. Highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out already. But let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Rush Duels and Duel Links? I'd love to know everything. The good, the bad, every opinion you have down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Continue to feel the rush. Continue to link into the duels. And I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.